Hello and welcome to the most hated show in the black corner of YouTube. I'm your host, the whiteologist, Mr. Blows Your Minds, and this is Black Minds News. Black Minds News is to report, articulate, transmit, communicate, insinuate, develop, investigate, unveil, decode, spread the news, whether it's by news, video, website, or quotes from publications. As I articulate this information, I ask that the creative universe be here, heart, soul, mind, and spirit. Because why? The truth don't need no partner. As a descendant of the greatest people who created this place that we call the United States, we, the foundational black Americans, the bloodline historical lineage, the historical people known as slaves, we who call ourselves BADOS, Black American descendant of slaves. Some say Black African descendant of slaves. Others say ADOS, American descendant of slaves. We, the today children, offspring, and present generation, we give honor to our ancestors. You know the motto of my show is, I'm never going to tell you what I heard. I'm only going to tell you what I know. Today's date is October the 14th, 2019. Did you hear? Several places of some things that done took place since the last time I did a show, which about 3 days ago. Took an extra day plus the weekend off. But we're going back into Dallas once again, right? I'm pretty sure everybody kind of heard a little bit. But just in case you haven't, we will cover that story today. What took place over there in Fort Worth, Dallas, Texas. Another situation, we'll talk about something that happened in Philly where a family dealing with the same situation. And we got a couple other more in there we're going to throw into today. But again, this is the most hated show on the black corner of the internet. And stay tuned for this broadcast. Hey, how's y'all doing again? This is your host, Mr. Blows Your Minds, and welcome to Black Minds News Live Report. First and foremost, let me say what's good to somebody should happen to be in the house. My subscribers should be in the house. What's good, fam? Couple days off, but you know how I got to do it once in a while. You know, y'all slow and lackadays about what y'all do, so I got to do what I got to do. So first and foremost, I want to thank each and every one of you for who should happen to be in the house who's catching the live show. What's good, fam? Passerbys, if you happen to pass by, this is the most hated show in the black corner of YouTube. How can you say that, Mr. Blow Your Mind? Well, I've been in the business for 7 years. Used to get 225,000 views, 50,000, 30,000, you name it, we was getting it. As of 2019, especially after I did the video of April 1st, 2014, that seemed to have offended so many people. They seem to say, well, we're going to make sure this individual do not get hurt because it does not make sense. But again, when you're stacking your case to get the money, we're going to keep it rolling. So anyway, go down the aisle, see some things that you might like. If you happen to see something to make you feel some kind of way, remember the motto of the show is the truth don't need no partner. Now, let's go ahead and get into what I got to get in today because, again, things just always going on. And, sometimes it's like, when's enough going to be enough, right? I mean, damn, man, it's like, It's like every other day is something going on. Well, we live in a country that has 350 million people. And so there's always a lot going on. Every day, every second, something that's happening, depending on where the spotlight, where it shines at and so forth. But when you have a continuance of the same old situation, scenario, it starts to formulate a pattern, right? Everybody kind of say, well, damn, maybe there's something there more to it. Now, coincidence, right, can happen. They say the word coincidence, right? So, it could be just a coincidence, right? Coincidence would be like if you went to Vegas, start playing, and you just was hitting on everything you went in. You're like, damn, I'm hot than a motherfucker, right? Like, man, my luck is running good. But, that's one place and one time, and that's an individual. But when they go from place over here to place over there, you have to ask, is this some kind of protocol? Or is it just individuals of something of their own intentional or underlying merit that one feels in their own self about certain situations? Or is it just a coincidence, right? So, I'm going to start off not with the top of the show, but I'm going to just go ahead and set the pattern because, again, some people like to think that because when we show these type of stories that you or me per se, I'm racist because I show what is being done. Again, BMA, Black Media Association, again, that's what we call ourselves social journalists these days, trying to go out here and try to keep it relevant and up to date about certain things just in case you were somewhere up under a rock. Well, let me go ahead and show you this and not talk no more about it. Let me go ahead and show you this here, and then I'll be right back. Check this out. Be right back. Check this out. Let you see this with your own eyes.
Next tonight here, a middle school teacher's racist rant after a fender bender in the school parking lot. Here's Stephanie Ramos.
Go back to your welfare.
Tonight, a Pennsylvania middle school teacher has been suspended after her racist rant aimed at an African-American parent dropping off his child in the school's parking lot.
Probably on welfare, too.
Not even a little bit. 6 figures a year, man. It's because I'm young and I'm black, and the reason why you would say that.
That's right, because you're black.
The parent, who does not want to be identified, says it all stemmed from a minor fender bender in the parking lot of Drexel Hill Middle School. In the video, you see the teacher come out from around the truck and yell derogatory statements and a racial slur toward the parent. Tonight, the school district's superintendent speaking out.
This is not the appropriate way to interact or to communicate with anybody in the public.
As for the parent involved, he commends the district for how they're handling everything, adding that one teacher does not represent an entire school. David.
All right, Stephanie, thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.
All right, so I had to throw that up in there right quick for you, right? So what we see there is a teacher, a fender bender, right? Looks like, again, people can be upset. You hit my car, how hard it is for me to pay this note. And you come and hit my car. So a lot of people feel some kind of way when you get in fender benders. But again, if you got insurance, another person got insurance, I guess that's what the purpose of you paying for, right? They say they betting on the fact that you don't get insurance and you saying I'm paying because just in case I do. You know what I'm saying? Then it was Allstate that came in later on talking about stuff. They started to give you a little bit of your money back. You pay, no accidents for a whole year. Don't you think you're entitled to a lot more than did a little something? I'm paying for nothing. But anyway, so here it is, a teacher. somebody who has the influence on your children said the things that you heard come up out of her mouth. She talking to, now she's on the premise of the school. She's known to be a teacher. Didn't it dawn on you at all that maybe this person who you talking to is a parent of a student at this school? But again, you know, the sickness in the beast gets to, relay and come out the way he needed to come out. And so what you end up having here is an individual who could not suppress the beast within and said exactly what one's true feeling is, not when I'm in the professional and I'm trying to put on the mask, right? When I put on the mask and make everybody think that this is the way who I really am, but then you get to see who I am when I get angry. It's kind of like old Bill Bixby with the Incredible Hulk. He said, come on, right? You don't like me when I get angry, right? So that's what happened here, right? So this teacher said some things. And why is it that, again, if somebody should be happen to be Caucasian than his, why is the first thing that come out of y'all mouth is welfare? Now, why is everything when you get angry at black folks, the first thing when it come out your mouth is, I bet you on welfare? Well, let's put it this way. If you had the history we had in this land, coming from, again, your count from the Virginia Company of 1619 down to this day, which is about 400 years, I'm pretty sure with all the schematics and schemes and machinations that are laid forth for traps and obstacles for people who, in the eyes of the country in this world, was just nothing to be labor. That I'm pretty sure 400 years later, there's going to be a portion of them who are going to be on welfare, right? But according to the statistics and data, when they say, again, as I said earlier, about 350 million people, how can you say that, again, how can one mind think that the majority, that they're chasing a black person, that they on welfare, that they are only like third in position if you count in percentage-wise. You got Caucasians, Hispanics, and then you got black folks. Now, black folks been here as long as white folks, but everybody else seems to have been undermining us, and somehow we can't grow past 12 to 13%. But it seems like you want to think that the whole 12, 13%, including children, are all on welfare. You would be mistaken, right? We know that's just a lie. Why do they need that? It's kind of like that's, they say we play the race car. Well, they always play the welfare car. Right? Every black person is on welfare just because some fact you get angry. But my man said, hey, no, I got 6 figures. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Kind of like, well, girl told her about big bank take little bank. Well, let's see how much money you got in your pocket. Oh, you stupid bum. You right? Remember that one? All right. So anyway, here was a teacher who's supposed to be outstanding, the one who has influence, who is actually the molder of the soft clay that is presented before her as the influencer, educator, and so forth. But deep what's up under there has this racial hatred towards you as a person of blackness, melanated, right? So, when they show stories like this, are we to just think that it's just one individual? Is that just one individual that we could just say, do not broad brush everybody and say that everybody's like that? No, we have to just say this individual is like that. That's what they want us to think. But that individual comes from people, and they come from people, and so on and so on and so on. And they got relatives and friends and association. You get what I'm saying? And so we have to say, then how many other teachers in them schools just like that teacher right there? And again, when you don't have the economics and finance, again, we all on welfare. So that means if we're getting welfare checks, would mean we also getting public assistance, which means we have to go to public schools, and we are probably on some kind of, public assistance to pay our rent. So again, we get in the low echelon of knowledge. So we're in a place publicly that you're teaching, and you're teaching our children. And a lot of times you have teachers in positions or in places where they're teaching with people who they don't even like. So does that have any effect? Could that be a clandestine way to derail a person, children particularly here, what we're talking about, that if I feel a certain kind of damn way, can I discombobulate you? Can I have you turn such a way that it would affect you for the rest of your damn life? And then people say, wonder why you can't connect the dot from A to B to C to D? Could it have something to do with this? Was this part of the plan once upon a time that we just, again, giving you the benefit of the doubt, thinking that you were coming, as they say, a wolf in sheep clothing? Is that what we to now look at? Oh, we're just going to take this incident because, see, I could take just this story itself and just let's broad brush it. Let's look at it. Because I myself, Mr. Blows Your Mind, remember when I was in school and I had teachers who used to tell me a lot of nonsense. That said a lot of crazy things that we was looking like, as kids, you don't know, again, you don't have all the understanding and articulation to actually do it. But again, it was just things that just was like kind of made you like question, like, what was that about, right? And so when you had teachers, in my case, you had teachers that were Jewish and Hispanic and white. And you would be like, wait a minute, they would say some things and do things, and you used to be like, man, these mothers really don't like us, right? So could that have a lot of hindrance to your development as black people? Could that have been a clandestine way that somebody was doing this to mess you up? And again, I know everybody knows, wait a minute, I thought it was just a fender bender teacher. You got to look at the long implications of how somebody with that kind of vitriol to a parent on a fender bender means that's the underlining who you are in reality. So how does that, again, spill over to your profession with you who, again, we don't know who all your students might be, but if you have the percentage of them in there, we understand that you feel some kind of way. And so, when they talk about, again, when we're going to go later in the show, talking about when we're dealing with those officers, again, because when you look at officers, you got to say citizenry and officers are supposed to be hand in hand, right? At least according to what the Marquis say, right? That's what the Marquis say. The Marquis say that citizens obey citizens and officers got a good camaraderie and they're here to serve and protect. But then does that mean that, again, it don't apply to everybody, but it only mean for certain people? Again, as I said the last show about the menu you see when you come in the store, it's not the same menu that is for you when you come in. You got a different menu. They got your menu in the back. You see in the front, but you trying to order that, but nah, that ain't for you. That's for yours. It's in the back. So we get back to this teacher business. So it's like, have you ever wondered sometimes? That's why you have some people now who kind of advertise and, speak about taking your children and, I don't know if everybody can do that, which is, homeschool or find some other way, because it's like, black people trying to get to a point now where we're trying to look at stuff and rationalize and have a better understanding to realize that everything that glitter ain't gold. Just because somebody sit there, got a badge on, say they got the title teacher, doctor, necessarily don't mean it's in your best interest. And here's somebody who, again, has more time to sit, that has more one-on-one influence on your child than you particular, because again, the way that the system designed is to keep you always busy. So you ain't got time. You, again, make it so busy where you don't get to sit down at the table, have a conversation. Hey, what's going on with school today? What you learn? This, that. No, because everybody microwaving, going through the drive-through, grabbing, eating in the box, and we up out of here. We ain't got time to talk. I got things to do, right? So that means that this person has, indirect interference in how they are. And again, those schools are set up with curriculum. So somebody also is setting up how they want this to fit, right? So again, that's just a teacher, right? And says some things that just don't make sense. Why would you be saying those type of things? And yes, because you're black. You don't wear yes, because you're black. So what is it they know that we don't know? I guess we do know, but again, it's taboo to be like Mr. Blow Your Mind and to say these things because again, they say, well, we don't want white folks to feel some kind of way. Well, goddamn it, we live in this shit. Why the hell we can't say what the fuck you doing? What kind of shit is that? Everybody want to act as if like the goddamn elephant in the goddamn room shitting up every goddamn well. We supposed to act like we don't smell it, we don't see it. You understand? No. It is what it is. You clean up your shit, then we won't have to say shit. But you can't do it. And the reason why you can't do it is because nobody you respect that could tell you, hey man, you're a little sick, man. You ain't gonna know what the hell you don't know what you're talking about, huh? You're a little sick, man. There's something wrong with you, man. There's something about the way you look and how you doing and how you do. You just, something ain't right here. Oh, Mr. Blow Your Mind, you're exaggerating. Am I really? All right, we're going to go on next to the mind. So anyway, that's what that is, right? You got to think about that. A teacher who's in the classroom, who feel that kind of way about seeing your presence there. Get her mad, you really see what she's about. But other than that, when she happy, maybe she not. The fact that, you know, they sleeping with the students could be, right? But it could be a lot of other things that contribute to it. But when it get to that point, when you're saying those type of things, all that had to be looked at. Everybody got to go. It ain't just about, even if you're talking about getting rid of her. How many people have she affected and did some things? Because again, like I say, I can say for myself personally that I had some teachers that just straight out railroaded Mr. Blows Your Mind because Mr. Blows Your Mind had the potential. Oh, he could, you know what I'm saying? He's a type that could be in the back, sitting there talking with his buddies, not looking like he's not paying attention to the boy, try to calm, get him to the boy, he go up to do the play, look at you, and go back, sit down, like, what you thought, you caught me off? No, that kind of, and could lead, play sports, people liked him. Oh, wait a minute, we got to break him. Oh yeah, Mr. Blow Your Mind ain't gonna tell you what he heard, he gonna tell you what he know, right? See, a lot of people they're not gonna talk like that. See, they scared to talk like that. But that's just how it is. And a lot of people try to act like this ain't what it is. See, I know what I recognize when I see it because again, I know what I see. I've seen that before. I know who that is and I done lived that. So I know she done did a lot of what you don't understand for y'all who don't act like you don't know no better. She done did a lot of damage. So if you go back into them and see every student that she done had and go back into it, you'll find out that I done probably all messed up. Never know. No, you said, well, what great could have been kindergarten. Even if it was kindergarten, it's even worse. Because then they tell you about something about the time when the kids come in, like say when they take a white kid and a black kid and put babies by the side, and the black kid's cognitive skills is more than the white kid. And sometimes by the time he get about third, fourth grade, something happened to him, he ain't the same kid no more. That's right. Because that damn public fooling done messed and tweaked them unbeknownst to you. And again, take it for what you want to take it. That's what it is, right? So let's move on here, right? So, okay, got a couple people still up in here. I appreciate everybody up in here. Let's see if I got some message up in here. Okay, what's good? Fear is God. Hey, what's good to you as well? And I got Mr. Spencer 620. What's good, fam? What's good to you as well? Glad to see y'all up in here. But that's just how it is, y'all. You know how it is. You got to always look when you see them up, they doing that kind of shit. They doing like that because again, many of us done had those situations in our lives where going back and reflecting, if you're still not in school, you know, I had some teachers that was very questionable as to, you know, how they dealt with you and how they dealt with other people. Like it seemed like, you see statistically, they talk about how black children get suspended more than any other children. Well, I wonder why, because you have teachers like that who feel that kind of way. And then how they grade you, how they could be misinforming you, right? It's kind of like the one story that I did with a young brother that was paying attention in class when they was teaching about slavery. And they would say, well, they was unpaid workers or some shit like that, right? And he called his mama. Hey, mama, ain't something out? They said we work for free. We were migrants or something, right? See, slowly trying to divert off the fact of what is the facts. See, they don't like us talking the facts. See, we dangerous because we talking the damn facts because again, what it is, we ain't supposed to be knowing. We ain't supposed to have this kind of conversation. No. You supposed to take it, like it, learn to like it, and shut your damn mouth. That's what they want you to do, right? So anyway, take it for what you want to take it is. That's just that teacher right there. Now, let me go ahead and get to the next story here, right? Now this one here, again, we have to ask ourselves, is this normal procedures? Or is this just how the game is again? What's going on? What is the protocol? Now, a teacher got a protocol. She got a curriculum that somebody somewhere sets up. Again, all books have to be authorized by, what they call that? Some kind of group. It's a group that they sit down and they're the one to come up with which books will be used, which books are part of the protocol that's going to be set up for the way we want the minds to be set. All that, right? They got that. So, okay, so let's see now, when I take you this situation, who's doing this? Check this out. Be right back. Check this out.
Also, a controversial loitering ordinance in Chester Township. It is at the center of the arrest of 4 members of the same family. The arrest happened earlier this month outside of their own home, and now the family says they're suing. Eyewitness News reporter Howard Monroe is live in Chester Township with the story. Howard.
The family's lawyer says the township's loitering policy was struck down back in 2012. He said that it was too vague. However, he also says that based on these arrests, those policies are still in place.
We just came home.
Keith Briggs arrested, tased, and put in the back of a cop car for loitering. Prior to his arrest, his lawyer says he was standing in front of his family's home. He was one of 4 people from the same family arrested in early October for the same charge.
The Chester Township Police Department has failed my family. Instead of protecting us and serving us, they decided to attack us on multiple occasions.
Rachel Briggs was also arrested. This was the second day in a row family members were arrested for loitering. The township statute says that there are areas of the township where loitering is prohibited. In those areas, the statute reads officers can question anyone they believe is loitering and ask them to leave. It's not clear if this neighborhood is one of those areas.
My sister lives here.
Doesn't matter. She lives there, not here.
While the family is trying to explain to them their lawful reason for being there, he's busy putting handcuffs on Miss Lewis and directing Mr. Briggs to be arrested.
This is Kenyatta Lewis being arrested. Arrest records show she yelled at her family members to get in the house when officers arrived. Moments later, her cousin, Ramir Briggs, was physically dragged off his family's porch and also arrested.
Who do they think they are to victimize a family like this and do this to someone in this community? Who do they think they are?
I never felt an embarrassment and shame as if I felt that day.
Now, we reached out to the police department several times today. However, we haven't heard back. As for the family, they are now thinking about filing a civil lawsuit. However, first, on October 17th, they'll be in court to answer to these criminal charges. But for now, live in Chester Township, Howard Monroe, CBS 3 Eyewitness News.
Howard, thank you.
All right. So, says a black family says Philly police arrested them 2 days in a row for loitering. I'm going to say that again. Black family says Philly police arrested them 2 days in a row for loitering. This story is coming out of the Griot. October 11, 2019, authorities targeted the Briggs clan multiple times in 1 week while they were hanging out on their own porch. A family in Philadelphia thinks they are being targeted by local police, and given how many times they have been arrested on their own property, they may have a case. According to CBS Philly, cell phone footage shows a man who has now been identified as Ramir Briggs being yanked over the railing of his family porch on Shannon Street in Chester Township. "We just getting home," a distraught female voice could be heard saying in the video. Keith Briggs says during the incident, officers used a taser on him and put him in the back of a cop car. In arrest records, they claimed that he had refused to disperse and was shouting expletives at them. And other members of the Briggs family were arrested 2 days in a row for doing nothing more than standing outside their own home. By the time someone got their bearings long enough to start filming, the running for relatives had already been arrested for loitering. At that point, the police finally asked who lived at the home. The Chester Township Police Department has failed. My family, instead of protecting us and serving us, they decided to attack us on multiple occasions, says Rachel Briggs, one of the people arrested. I never knew that police officers could decide on one of us being outside too long or arrest us again. Who do they think they are to victimize a family like this and do this to someone in the community? Who do they think they are, asked attorney Kevin Fitzpatrick, who will be aiding the Briggs family in filing a civil lawsuit. According to the township loitering statute, there are certain areas where loitering is prohibited. In those areas, the statute says officers can question anyone they believe is loitering and ask them to leave. It remains unclear if the Briggs home is in one of those areas, but the family lawyer points out that even if it was, the township loitering statute was struck down in court back in 2012 after the court ruled that it was too vague. All right, so what you seen there was a black family who, again, you have a home. The purpose of a house is to do what? To live in it, right? And better than renting, right? Because again, you have a little bit more freedom. It's yours. You can play the music or whatever, barbecue and so forth, right? And all that other good stuff. And have family members come over and we can all hang out, laugh, do all that good stuff. But it seems to be a little bit different, as again, like I always tell you, you can go in the restaurant and try to order off. You've seen the front menu, but they say what's on the front menu ain't yours. Your menu is in the back, right? Right? You don't get to order that. See, the country may say this is what it's about, but that don't apply to you. That's yours is in the back. So here's a family decide that they again have some kind of little family together and some things like that. And we don't know which officer it was, but somebody decided said that they were loitering. Loitering. All right. So you know what I'm gonna have to do? I'm gonna have to go. Let's go look at the law. What it says about loitering. What do they mean? Maybe something we don't understand about loitering. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we don't understand. So we got to go to the words they use, what they say loitering is. So let me go ahead and look up loitering right quick. Pull out my trusty book here. And let's see what it says about loitering. All right, let's see. Loitering, right? What do they say about loitering? What is lawfully says? What does that even mean? So let's see if they were loitering. Why loitering seems to be hiding from me? All right, let's see. It should be right here. Okay, loitering. All right, here it goes. Says loiter. To be dilatory. To show in movement, to stand around or move slowly about. To stand idly around, to lag behind, to linger or spend time idly. Traditionally includes acts constituting vagrancy, and as such, many ordinances have been struck as unconstitutionally vague. The term, as used in statute prohibiting loitering or prowling upon the private property of another, means to be slow in moving, to delay or linger, to saunter, to lag behind. So loitering means to be slow in movement, stand around, moving slowly about. Now, wait a minute. That's their house. This their family house. Who came up with that one? Who was that? Well, you can talk about loitering. They're talking about loitering. What? They said after they did all that ruckus, snatching mugs up off the porch, handcuffing grandma, all this, and then who else is this? Shouldn't that have been the first? Shouldn't that have been the first thing? Who Who house is this? Matter of fact, who called you? Who called you? Let me get you. Okay, let me tell you. I remember one time. I got a story for you. One time, I remember when we was staying in this particular place. We had this house, little house. I was in my mother's house, right? Had a little house, right? And everybody living in the house, right? They had the house. I think my mother was renting the house. She didn't even own the house. She was renting the house, right? Everybody else around her was owning the damn house. Now, you know, some people, they own their home, got out their home, pay all that motherfucking mortgage and all that good shit, but they don't use their damn house. Now, here we poor. We BADOS. We ADOS. So I'm saying? We cut from the cloth, nigga. We 400, 500 deep in this motherfucker, right? So anyway, we get and start cleaning up the backyard because the motherfucker who owned it, he just had the house getting to collect the money. He didn't get no shit. He just wanted to collect the money. So we went back there, did what BADOS do. We like, you know, we could clean this up back here, put the grill back here, put some music back here, you know what I'm saying? Go get us a case, you know what I'm saying? Just back here chilling, right? So once we did it, now everybody all of a sudden everybody want to come in their backyard and barbecue. We like, what? All this damn time, nobody want to do shit. Y'all got you. Okay, so what I'm trying to tell you is maybe my fucking neighbors was watching. Maybe your neighbors watching. You said 2 days in a row. Police come back to back. But they ain't mentioned the fact that maybe somebody called on y'all. You understand? Some of these neighbors over here got some problems with y'all. Don't like the fact that you there. And then they trying to run y'all up out of there. Right? Again, they didn't like the fact that you living there because it don't make sense. 2 days in a row, you're going to keep saying loitering. Then even if that be the case, then that means one of the police officers got an issue with somebody there. Right? It's one of the two. It's either neighbors calling or the police got an issue with you. But damn, just for the simple fact that, just the way they was handling it just don't seem like there's no respect. Now, again, you say homeowners, you're in a community. Ain't there a better way you can go about the process? But we see the one little skit where the police officer said, well, if you live there, but you don't live here. Like, he talking about the street. Yeah, you don't know. Yeah, you live there, but you don't live on the sidewalk. You reaching. You know what I'm saying? You got an itch you trying to scratch. Well, you ain't nowhere close. You mean to tell me you're going to try to hold somebody on their property about being on the sidewalk that's in front of the property that they pay mortgage taxes on? And that's your justification? You know what I'm saying? Everybody got this thing where they're just trying to act like they not what they is. And then if you start talking about it, I'm wrong because I'm talking about what you doing. Ain't that? You doing that and I'm supposed to be like, hey, don't see, turn the blind eye. Why you paying attention, man? Because what happens to them happens to me, it happens to you, and it happens to them. You understand? It's reciprocal when it comes to that. It's like, again, right? When you get in the courtroom, patting motherfuckers on the back, stroking people's hair, the next thing you know, same shit happened again. We're going to get to that, right? Same old shit happened again, right? So, what do you think, right? Black man, huh? Black while housing, huh? Black while housing. Now, you know what I'm saying? There's always black while something. Everybody got some reason to try to disturb your peace when you ain't even doing nothing. See, it's getting to the point that black folks are getting to that point where they're not trying to do so much to try to put you in the system. So they say, well, okay, yeah, they ain't driving as much, so you can't use a car no much. So now they coming into your house. You know what I'm saying? Because they can't catch you on the street with shit. Can't catch you driving with shit. So, fuck it. We know you in there, though. We know your ass is up in there. And I'm coming up in there. What? You know what I'm saying? What? What's going on here, man? So, who's writing the protocols to this? Who writing the protocols to this? Hey, come on. Some of the phone, I thought this was my place. Now you're loitering in your own place. Huh? It's always something, man. You understand? It's always something. Anybody saying and say we got a couple minutes? Nobody? Okay, we're good. Okay. So, so that's just what it is, right? Can you imagine that shit? You with your family? Y'all, you queuing, y'all hanging out, playing some dominoes, drinking a little bit, maybe puffing a little herb or whatever it might be. Hey, I'm coming here talking about some bullshit, some loitering shit. Like, damn, ain't no way we can have a conversation. Be like, all right, what's the problem here, officer? You know what I'm saying? Or what's going on? Oh, we got a call. Okay, you got a call? Then I know, all right. But they don't look like that. How they look? Just like y'all just in there, like basically it was almost like a drug bust. You got everybody sprawled out, slinging muzzles up over the rail, hang, you know. Wait a minute, grown folks. Wait, ain't there part where you would be dealing with somebody who elderly or older and be like trying to, let's see if we can work this out? Why is there so rush to judge to try to handcuff and put everybody and get? But see, the problem is everybody got some feeling the way about you and they just don't really want to say it. But yet they don't see their actions keep showing it time and time and time again. But it's something we just keep making up. You just make it up. But what you don't see? You don't see the other side of us doing that to them. Yeah, you ever notice that? You don't see us. You don't see us where you see some black person, BLAK, ranting how he don't like white person to the utmost or whatever of his heart. You don't see that. You don't see it. You don't see a bunch of black cops getting together, going in a white neighborhood, grabbing out white folks and pulling them and arresting them and putting on. You don't see that. But it's the other way around. You see that. Why? Because you ain't respecting nobody else. Right? You the law, and whatever you do is just why you deal with it with the court situation. But make everybody else go through all that nonsense for nothing. All because you feel like, again, a job that has something to do with merit. Right? Again, think about it. In order for you to progress in the department, it's bound on what? Probably arrest, convictions, all that good stuff, right? So when business is slow, right? It's like looking at, all you gotta do is look at TV. When business is slow, motherfuckers say, come on sale. We got something on sale. We're selling 50 Big Macs for $2. That'll get a whole bunch of motherfuckers down there. You know what I'm saying? I'm got $2 for 50 Big Macs. We coming, right? So what happens when business slow for police? Oh, gotta start making shit up. I can't live on this $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 or more. You know what I'm saying? I got too many side pieces. The shit costs me. I'm trying to this and that. So I need to move up. I need some rankings. So guess what happens? So who become cannon fodder for these moving up mugs that be in these departments? We do. So you just make up shit. Everybody in there trying to grab a motherfucker to get arrested. Everybody, did you know the black dude had the stripes on? Everybody was like, damn, man. I would expect you, brother, that you see the situation, be like, hold on, wait a minute, let's see this better. You had some stripes on. And you didn't even do the shit. Why? Cube already said, black police showing out for the white cop. You got to show he down. Otherwise, find out, set his ass up and he be in there, put a cold gun somewhere and say, well, that's what happened to him. We didn't do it. You understand? So it's kind of like sometimes the shit is being not in your best interest. But we got to have them. But the problem is they seem to can't control the situation when the situation should have just been like, all right, hold on, y'all. Let me go ahead. Let me talk to these my people. Let me talk to them. Let me see what's going on here. Right? Oh, who was the officer that was the original one that was sponsored? Let me talk. Wait, what you talk? What's going on here? You had arrested him before? You and him got some shit like that? No. You know what I'm saying? No. We just gonna go ahead, gun hold everybody. On the bullshit ass loitering, which I can see if you're in front of an establishment, a store. But in front of a residence, then I have to say, logically, it has to be neighbors if it wasn't just police directly. So, black family in Philly, if you should happen to hear this, it's one of your damn neighbors over there. One of your neighbors got some issues with y'all being there. You understand? We don't know all the ins and outs because sometimes, even in situations how some people could just party too long, noise is a little bit too obstructive, a little bit too loud, weed too strong. You understand? And you're doing it too long and then they don't want to come over there so they call police. All right. Maybe. But again, calling them police seem to be one of them things you have to think about. You understand? The one thing you're going to have to think about in certain situations, even when the intent is good. Well, you know where I'm going, don't y'all? You know where I'm going, right? When your intent is good and something good turns the wrong way because that was not your intent. Your intent was that as a concerned community neighbor, that you seen something, you say, well, wait, what's going on over here? Let me check this out right quick. So that's what happened, right? So let me go ahead, go to this next story, y'all, and we shall be right back.
We are seeing the face of ATIANA Jefferson, shot and killed in her home by a Fort Worth police officer early this morning. Now, we know a lot of you have questions about this case, and we have been working all day to find out what we can. This story begins on the south side of Fort Worth on East Allen Avenue. That is where our Eric Alvarez is live tonight to walk us through what happened.
Well, friends and family are understandably outraged tonight. They are demanding answers. They are demanding justice for that young woman who was shot and killed here inside her own home by a police officer that was called here to see if she needed help.
Put your hands up! Show me your hands!
A welfare check gone horribly wrong. In this body cam footage released by the Fort Worth Police Department, you do not hear the officer identify himself as he passes a window and steps through a gate into the backyard. He then sees a figure in a window, draws his gun, and fires, less than 3 seconds after demanding to see the person's hands. That person is 28-year-old ATIANA Jefferson, who lived in the home with her 8-year-old nephew.
The family is understandably brokenhearted.
Attorney Lee Merritt, who spoke to Jefferson's family, says the pair were playing video games early in the morning.
And they heard someone creeping around outside. She went to investigate at the window. An officer was on the other side who shouted commands, and before she had a moment to respond, he shot her to death.
So how did this happen? Around 2:30 a.m. Saturday, Jefferson's neighbor noticed the door open and the lights on. He called a non-emergency line asking for police to perform a welfare check.
I'm still kind of broken and shocked.
James Smith tells WFAA officers parked around the corner, arrived at the house with no lights, no sirens, and did not announce their presence. He called police so they would make sure Jefferson and her nephew were safe. He never expected police to put them in danger.
They tell me I shouldn't feel bad, but I feel bad because had I not called the police department, she would probably still be alive today. So I do feel a little weight on me for that, making that call.
Fort Worth police have not released the name of the officer, but describe him as a white man who has been with the department since April of last year. The officer has been placed on administrative leave. The department says all of the evidence will be handed over to the district attorney's office to see if any criminal charges will follow.
And that is exactly what friends, family, and neighbors are calling for tonight. I can tell you throughout the day, dozens of people have stopped by this house offering support to the family of that young woman, which they say had every right to be in her own home and posed no threat to that officer. Live in Fort Worth, I'm Eric Alvarez.
Eric, thank you. Fort Worth Mayor Betsy Price sent out a statement in response to this shooting today, saying writing a statement like this is tragic and something that should never be necessary. A young woman has lost her life, leaving her family in unbelievable grief. All of Fort Worth must surround ATIANA Jefferson's family with prayers, love, and support. Chief Krause and his command staff are acting with immediacy and transparency to conduct a complete and thorough investigation. More details are forthcoming, and the Tarrant County District Attorney Law Enforcement Incident Team Office will ultimately receive this case.
All right, so again, Another one of them stories, right? ATIANA Jefferson, being another victim of mistaken identity. Is that what they want to call that? Wrong place, wrong time, being at home. Mistaking you for the threat and fear that an officer had. Well, let me go ahead and give you, I'm going to read the article to you. Or I can't read the article to you, right? Let me go ahead and read the article to you. After a while it just gets like that, right? So I'm going to read this article to you. I guess I just do it this way. Don't make it that way. All right. So anyway, it says, originally what I had, I'll put you on the screen here. This is what they had on there, right? Originally when I did the story, I actually did it the day it actually, right, minutes when it already happened. But because it was on the weekend, I had some other stuff to do. I couldn't do it, so I did it today. So it says, black woman shot dead in her home by a white police officer responding to welfare check call, right? Black woman shot dead in her home by a white police officer responding to welfare check call, right? Then that story disappeared, and then I had to find this one here. It says New York Times said Fort Worth woman was playing video games with her nephew when shot by police. So now you see how originally when they said black woman shot dead by a white cop, they changed to, woman was playing video games with a niece or nephew and then was shot by police, right? So it kind of takes some of the, the sting off, because here we go again, right? Where we at? Oh, Dallas? Oh, what's this black folk in the house then now? Yeah, remember, just seen Philly, right? Okay, let's just see. So it says a police officer fired the shot that killed ATIANA Jefferson from outside her bedroom window. A neighbor had reported 2 doors ajar. Now, they said 2 doors were ajar, right? Now, let me show you something. See, I'm going to read this, but I'm going to just go kind of show you as I go along. That way, I think you get a better picture of what I'm talking about. So let me show you something. Let's see if I got that there. All right, so that's at the window. That's the window one. That is the other window. And I want y'all to see something. Because, sometimes when you see the video, they flash it and you don't get to see it. So what we do, we go there, we're going to show you. Now, again, you didn't see this that quick. Now, look. You see, when they showed that clip, look where he's at originally. Look where he's at. He's at that front door. You can see the little chair in there, right? It's kind of the kitchen. There's like the refrigerator's right there, right? And so the next one is this here. You'll see here, just to show you a little bit better than that picture, get a better clip. See, look, you can see that's looking right into the kitchen, right? Right, door open. That's where you come and see, right? Then he goes through and opens the gate and goes around through the back, and then he comes through the back window. Right? And that's where you see them, right? You see him there shining that light. You know that bright light they got. Got his gun right there. We can kind of see his face. Right? He got a crater face. I guess his face on the moon or some shit, right? But anyway, right there. And so, story goes on and says that it says minutes before she was shot, killed by a Fort Worth police officer at the time that Kay Jefferson was playing video games in a bedroom with an 8-year-old nephew. A lawyer for the family said Sunday. Miss Jefferson, 28, was proud of being the cool auntie to her sibling children and had stayed up into the wee hours of Saturday morning with her nephew, the Xbox controller in their hands, according to S. Lee Merritt, the family's lawyer. Boy, it's like, boy, every time, huh? Back in the day, you used to call it an ambulance chaser, right? Anyway. But the pair grew concerns around 2:30 a.m., he said, when they heard rustling outside the house and saw flashlights. Now, I said the pair, not meaning the nephew and her, hearing stuff going on in the back, right? Now, this when I showed you, right? Now, remember, he was originally at the door, right? He was at the door, and then he went around the gate, and then he came back here, and he's doing this. He's flashing a light, right? Okay. But originally it says a neighbor had called the police after seeing Miss Jefferson's front door and side door jar. Okay. A call. He later said he regretted making. The two responding officers quietly crept around outside the dark house where Miss Jefferson lived with her mother. Now, did they know there was two doors ajar? Because originally you see, as I showed you the still picture, you seen them. Should I go back? Maybe I should go back to that. Let me go back to that one, right? Let me go back to that, right? So here you is at the front, this door that is open in the jar, right? Now maybe we need to understand what is maybe somebody don't understand what it means to do a welfare check. Oh, I know some white people that might tickle you. Oh, welfare check. Black folks in a welfare check. No, that ain't what we talking about. No, that's the thing. That's what you thinking about, right? Oh, everybody know nigga always got to have a damn welfare check. Not that kind of welfare check. We talking about this kind of welfare check. So let me give you what I came up with on this welfare. Let me give you the background. See if I can. I'm gonna show you the system. Let me show you the system. Maybe it won't do it. What is a police welfare check? Most people think of the police as patrolling the streets, looking for wrongdoers, or responding to calls. What many people don't realize is that the police in their communities are also available to conduct a police welfare check. This essential law enforcement function is an important tool for building safe communities. That's what they say, right? What is a welfare check? Friends, family, and neighbors are important social contacts. They may regularly check in with loved ones to see how they are doing. When a loved one fails to respond, the police can be called in to conduct a welfare check. Situation that requires a police welfare check. You normally see your neighbors, but it has been an extended period of time since you have. You call him or her and knock at the front door, but there's no answer. Your grandpa calls you at least once a week, but you haven't heard from him. When you try to call him, he doesn't answer either. He has heart conditions, so you begin to worry. You know of a suicidal friend who lives alone. She sent you a text message that causes concerns, and you stop hearing from her after that. Regardless of the situation, it is important that you are certain a loved one is in danger before you request for a police welfare check. How to ask for a welfare check. The first step is to get in contact with local law enforcement authorities. You may call 911 if you have reason to believe that there may be an emergency situation in progress. However, you can also contact the police through a non-emergency phone call or phone number. Either way, you may need to get in touch with the local police department in the person's town where the welfare check will be conducted. If you live in that same area, you may be permitted to accompany the authorities. It is also possible to request a welfare check in another jurisdiction. For instance, if a relative living in another state has not responded to your attempts to contact them for some time, you may want to ask for a welfare check at their residence. It is important to proceed with caution. You want to be reasonably certain that your relative's behavior is out of character and have reasons to believe that something is truly amiss before calling the police. Legal consideration. No court order is required for police to conduct a welfare check. Essentially, as long as they have reasonable grounds to believe that an inhabitant in a residence is in danger, they can legally enter the premises. They typically knock on the door and await a response before announcing their law enforcement affiliation. If they still receive no response, they may enter the property This is particularly useful when someone inside the house is unconscious or otherwise unable to respond. The ability to enter the property without permission means that emergency aid can be rendered. In some cases, this is life-saving intervention. What happens after a police welfare check? At the time of the call, most people don't think about what's to follow after the authorities check on the individual. If the police go to the location to find that the person is in good health and it was likely a miscommunication, why you were unable to get a hold of him or her, they will notify you to let you know. However, if the police find the person injured, sick, or already deceased, they will call for medical assistance immediately as well as contact you to come to the scene. They will stay at the home until you arrive. And lastly, if the individual was found dead and there was any foul play involved, a criminal investigation will follow. And while there are countless reasons why someone may request a police welfare check, the most common reason is to check on an elderly person who lives alone. All right, what you did give you the little replay. That was ATIANA Jefferson as I was reading that. So we see that a welfare check, there is a protocol that police should follow when they're coming. Now, again, according to the article on what was said, the neighbor called the non-emergency based on the simple fact that he could see from his residence that her door was ajar. It's about 2 a.m. Concerned neighbor who knows, again, according to the article, said that he has been living in that community for 50 years. So he pretty much knows everybody and who's been there and so forth. So accordingly, they said that the children of his home and those are friends and play with each other, fraternize. So he was concerned. Recently, the grandmother or the mother of the house there had recently been in the hospital, and that she and the nephew were staying there with her to help aid her. Now, he makes a non-emergency call to have a welfare check. Based on what you heard me read as to the welfare check, whether you just checking to make sure that somebody's okay, haven't heard from them from a while, whether you're in the same jurisdiction or in proximity, you're just having them to go and just to keep. Okay, so as you see at the door there, the doors are ajar. According to what it says in the law, that what it says about welfare check, based on them, the reason they're coming there, he should have been able to, one, knock at the door. Knock. Hello? Police, we here to child welfare check? That's not logical. Identify yourself as police. But first of all, why did y'all come there? I understand that coming with lights blaring and siren, but why did y'all park around and hide and then come? Then you walk up to the door. So what if they was to look out and would have seen the police car out there? Maybe they would, you know what I'm saying? But what they end up, according to what's being said, they see somebody with lights, in the window from inside looking out. Now, the thing is always I notice when black folks are having these situations or they're being reported, no one takes it from the perspective of the black person until you get to court. It's like it's only the police perspective about how he's perceiving a threat. But what about the person from the inside who don't know you even coming? Now, the neighbor is just doing a neighborly thing because of concern, but that concern should have not had manifest with somebody dying. The people that you say tell you to protect and serve, that's the thing that everybody love to say out their mouth. Police are serve and protect. But when it comes to black folks, it's one of them things you got to think. I had a situation where somebody was trying to get from one place to another. And based on the area that they was in, cab ain't coming over there. Yeah, you black, you know, cab ain't I said cab, didn't I? You know Uber today, right? Right? So Uber cab wouldn't come over there, right? And he stuck over there. He trying to get out of there because he in the situation. He need to get the fuck up out of there, right? And he talking to me, and I can't, at the time, I don't have no way to get over there other than the fact that I had to call pat and foot. I got to walk over there. But he too far from where he at. So I'm trying to make some arrangements. So again, all right, so he can't do that. So I'm thinking like, damn, where you at is hot than a mug. And I need to get your ass because you ain't even from there. You ain't know. You brand new like a fish out of water. And I'm concerned for this brother. I'm like, man, how'd you get over there? You understand? But anyway, so I'm thinking maybe I should call police and get him. Then I said, well, what the fuck I'm thinking about? Hey, no, man. No, they ain't going to do that. Because see, that can just like this situation here. You called to do something to be good, and it because who we are, and when we're dealing with them and not knowing who it is that's gonna come up on you, it could be something that was intent. Now here's the brother. The brother feel like he did something wrong, but the community say you ain't did nothing wrong. You did what you had to do. Nah, this ain't on you. This ain't on you. But let's just look at how they went about it. Because when you at that door, the way you see that door right there. Why didn't you just knock? Why didn't you press the doorbell? Is that asking too much? The door already open. Hey, is anybody here? Because according to what it says, that once you didn't get no sign, you don't need you don't need a warrant to enter because you're calling because somebody has called y'all to see a welfare check. But you didn't do that. So you thinking about if I go around at night, 2:30 at night, flashing the light. Now, again, we don't know why that door is open. We don't know if they had a pet. Pet know how to open the door. Maybe one of the shorties. Somebody snuck in, snuck out. Somebody didn't close the door. That's what sounds. Somebody who, maybe it was the shorty that was with her. The shorty about 8. Maybe he ran, get something. Maybe at the car something, did something, and went back in. It was so elated the fact that his auntie was sitting there playing Xbox with him that he ain't think about closing the door. Right? Could have been one of them. Could have been that situation. Right? But here's police who, again, you deal with stuff like this on a regular. When I come to do a little research on this cat, even though they won't identify who he is, he only been on the police about 14 months. Let's say 16 months to the max. 16 months. He's still brand new, right? He brand new to my. They smell the brand new scent still on him. He ain't even broke in good. And he already don't understand. Look at this training. And you send these mugs out to be amongst us, and see, they can be untrained to be around us, but I'll be damned, I bet they can't be that untrained to be around you. So here it is, you see the door. He could have came there according to it again what the protocol said, that you could knock on the door, self-identify yourself, and you can enter the premise. Right? No, you go through the back. You flashing that light. You know that light, they got that mag light that's extra bright? Blind the hell out of you? Now, from her perspective, her maybe not knowing the doors are open, right? In there, they playing it's 2:30 in the morning. They probably had, again, to see the lights on in the kitchen, right? But when I see that when they go to the window, as I'm going to show you as I see what they got in the window here, right? You don't see no light. You see, basically, you just see him from his perspective, the police. Let's see if I got that. Let me show that right quick. All right. You see this? Let me show you. See? You don't see no light from there. You just see his light flashing from outside. You see his reflection. So it's dark enough that they're reflecting. Now, they might have had the light on, but based on them seeing that, turned the lights off. They said, oh, well, we found the gun in her house. Well, Lee Mayer said, yeah, she had a gun, and she owned it, and it was a lawful ownership of the gun, which means she had all her papers and everything. But again, she in her own house. See, it's all because you don't follow certain protocol that these situations are happening, right? That could have been prevented because, again, if you'd have came, rung the doorbell, right? Instead of you trying to play I Spy, trying to sneak in. But again, how do you know that ain't the person that you're checking on? What made you talking about put your hands up and shoot immediately, and yet you ain't gave nobody no damn time? Now this young lady here was one with the Xavier College, I think it's pre-med or biology, right? Right? And, you know, lost her life based on the simple fact of what? Somebody who, again, everybody want to use the kickstand that I'm fearing for my life. I'm not going to say that a police employment is not a dangerous job. You understand? I wouldn't say that it's not. But I think you got to be built a certain way if you to have that job. I don't think you can get a mouse, right, to, you know, live where a damn band playing at. You know, it's too damn loud. He's going to be running and scared every damn time it sounds symphony and shit. He ain't going to be standing there, right? So I'm just saying, if you're too scared for that ain't the environment that you, I don't think you need the job. But I think what happens is we be getting the pot liquor of people's, of the nation's people who can't get a job doing nothing that was never good too much. I'm not going to say all of them. But there's a lot of them, again, they just the pot liquor of their people, and they say, well, shit, give them the damn job over there to control the goddamn niggas. You can do that much, can't you? You can do that much, right? And then we get them. They in our goddamn neighborhood. Scared in the motherfucker. All the damn stereotypes and shit that they believe in their damn mind and talk about the jungle and shit. And here you is, live in the fact, you got to be up in the damn jungle. Oh, you scared in the motherfucker, huh? All the shit that you, all the boogeyman and Baba Yaga in your damn head. Now you there now. Head little itch, twitch, move. You ready to pop. You ain't supposed to be there. You ain't supposed to be there. But they put you there anyway. Because kind of kill two birds with one stone. Well, get rid of you to get you a damn job so you can get out of my damn house, get out of my basement, get you a damn wife or some shit. But at the same time, you might also, you know, off a couple of them. Right? Yeah, you deal with it. You're a cop. Right? That kind of shit, right? So here this young lady, 28 years old, lose her damn life on what? It was too many rights and then one big wrong. Right of a neighbor to call and check on another. That's black unity, community. We need that. Concern for one another. My house is your house. If I see somebody supposed to be there or do something right, my duty as a black community neighbor, that's what I'm supposed to do. But I think, again, we got to be very apprehensive about what we do when we talk about this third party getting involved. Because look what happened. One could be so damn tired. Oh, I think this is my apartment. And when you go back and look at that, that ain't what that was about. It wasn't nothing about. Because nobody never said who did the complaint in that Amber Geiger story. Who was the one that did the complaint about, they said weed, but I think it was more about that singing than anything else. You understand what I'm saying? And went up there and confronted, because when my man came home, he heard that part coming home and then hear the pop pop. You understand? He heard the arguing, the talking, and then the pop pop. Right? Joshua Brown. So again, what is it that moms don't have the rationale and the cognition to understand how to do certain things when it comes to dealing with? But I bet if this is white in an all-known white-ass neighborhood community, you wouldn't have did this. You'd have knocked on the door like, hey, you neighbor want some sugar? You would have came like that. You want some sugar? You could have did that. You'd have came right. But this here, well, let me sneak in the back. You know, we're trying to sneak out the back. Now, again, how long, again, when they said when they pulled up, didn't come with sirens, no lights, and the ones around the corner, how long did they sit there and observe? Huh? How long did they sit there and observe? Damn shame, man. Damn shame. Right? And the whole thing is from her perspective, their perspective. But let me tell you something. Let me show you her last words that I caught, that I went on her page. And this is what she said. This is what she said from home. I'm going to let her speak from her resting spot now. Let me show you something, right? February 20, 2014, ATIANA Jefferson. This is what she said. This could have happened to anyone. When you do the crime, you do the time. Crimes cannot go unpunished no matter what they are. It makes a mockery of the United States justice system if people feel comfortable enough to commit crimes. Whether this was his normal behavior or not, he should still be dealt with like any other person in that situation. If I speed, I will get a ticket. I may not normally speed, but that doesn't change the fact that I have a ticket. Unless this man has a mental illness or a massive brain tumor that impairs his judgment, he needs to be properly dealt with. Spoken from the other side. Let that marinate for a second. She's spoken from the other side. She wrote that. She wrote that 5 years. That's February the 20th. 5 years, let's say 8 months in advance. She prophesied. She was talking to him. You ain't finna get away with that one. See, that was too, the stove was still warm from the last one. You ain't getting away with this one. All right. Let's see. I was up there. Let's see. Looks like I'm up here. Somebody's sending package in here. Trying to freeze me up. They freezing me up? Yeah, they freezing me up, huh? Got to freeze me up, huh? Yeah, we're freezing me all up in here, right? Yeah, look at that. Wow, look at that. I am the most hated show in the black corner of the internet. Better believe that. All right, so I can't really see right there what's going on. Hold on, it's freezing up over here. It's show freezing up, and I'm not sure. I see the number moving, but I'm not seeing if that's so. Hold on 1 second, y'all, because I can't see to move that down, which is crazy. Yeah, somebody in here sending them package trying to freeze me up. Yeah, see, look at that. Ain't that something? Look at that. That's what you do, man. That's crazy. All right, see if I can get it to work. No? Okay, let's see. No? Still won't do it, huh? All right, there we go. It might be a little bit. I'm trying to see if anybody's have any messages in here. I mean, it is straight freezing. It is straight freezing. Ridiculous. Now video output low. Yeah, I know. You don't want me talking that talk, right? All right, so again, not sure whether you can hear me or not. Matter of fact, let me check one thing right quick, because I'm the only way I can check, because I'm froze up over here. All right, making sure I can't continue on. So let me check something right quick while we're doing this. While I'm doing it, because it looked like we froze a little bit here. All right, still showing live, 2 watching. So let me check something right quick. Okay, all right, so it's showing it. Okay, so I'm good. Okay, so that is it. You heard her speak from the grave on something she wrote 5 years in advance. That this could have happened. This can happen to anyone, right? The situation. It could happen to anyone, right? But in particular, it's going to happen to her. And when you do the crime, she said, you do the time, right? So this individual here has to be accountable, because again, the whole situation now is based on the fact, is it justified what he did? Did he have a reasonable reason to feel like he was in danger? Because he's searching the home, but the call isn't about burglary, robbery, you know what I'm saying? Suspicion. It's about welfare check. You're just going to see if somebody's okay. doors open, ajar. Maybe the person came and stumbled, left and they fell and they were stumbling, having a heart attack or whatever. Maybe that's what it is. Identify yourself. Hey, police. Something, right? Knock on the door, ring the doorbell, something. No. So again, it's like, I get it. I don't know if you want to just walk up in somebody's damn house not knowing, and I know that again, trying to, put yourself in safe distance, but I think that you've been better off doing it that way and then let them run out the back and then you're chasing them. And if you see them, you see it's lit. It's not like you can't see the shoot. You had a better, way of looking and being able to recognize what a lit area than to be in somewhere fully dark and shine a flashlight and just seeing a shadow and then saying something and just shooting. Minute you say it, you don't even get time to respond. So it's like, you're going to justify that. But again, like I said, the store was still warm from the last shooting. Or the last two shootings. Let's put it that way. Last two shootings. Joshua Brown and you have Botham Jean, right? And the same place with the same lawyer, right? So I don't know if you won't be able to get what, I don't think you're going to get the special the first one got. I think whatever they come down and come to, he's going to get the full of it. Whatever that might be, he's going to get the full of it. He ain't going to get the end lower minimum of it. I think he's going to get closer to the full of it. Now, could it have been a mistake? Could have been. Was he itchy and nervous? Could have been. But again, under the circumstance, right? Under the circumstance, he being one that, again, is on a call about welfare check. Why are you sitting there with a gun drawn? You probably seen them say somebody is make sure everything okay. Not coming in suspected that somebody is in there robbing them. If they, anyway, it is what it is, right? It is what it is, y'all. All right, man. I'm gonna lay off of that one, man. It is what it is, cause it just doesn't make sense. It just don't make sense, man. We again rationalize somewhat as what it would be a police officer. Those who want to be a police officer, we understand that the job is entailed with a lot of danger. But not every situation is dangerous unless that you make it, because again, you ain't built to be in that job. And I don't understand why the fact that he has anonymity not to know, because I'm going to tell you what I think. I think they don't want to disclose his name because again, they want to scrub all his social media shit so that you can't go back like Mr. Blow Your Minds would do and go look at some of the shit your ass done said and be like, oh yeah, he had issues. So what they doing is they finna scrub everything before they release his name. I said him name. They say his name. I say him name. Right? And so, yeah, Tatiana Jefferson loses her life. Again, somebody who had something who could contribute, who was doing, trying to be an auntie and all that other good stuff, trying to go to school, be pre-med, do something that could have been some beneficial for us as BADOS, ADOS, and get snuffed out in your own home. You can't even feel safe in your own home anymore. Right? They said, why is just a couple incidents? Why are you trying to make this broad enough? Because you never know. It's like the lottery. It may just happen to you. It may be the number that pop up and you get it. Because something as simple as somebody calling, hey, call her. You know what I'm saying? I smell beans burning shit. No, they don't send the fire truck. They send the police first. Police come and shit. Calling about some beans and it turned out your ass you get killed because somebody smell some beans burning and shit. Yeah. Anyway, man, it's just what it is, man. So, again, I don't know, man. I had other stuff in there, but that does a lot, man. It just really does a lot because you just don't think that somebody in your own home, when you in that confine of your own house, that's where you relax yourself. That's where everything is, all the stuff on the outside don't matter. It's everything up in here. Everything is the way I set it up. It's my energy, the way I got it arranged and all that. You ain't thinking of that. And if she did turn the light off, she did have a gun. She was thinking that you was somebody who ain't should have been there. Because I don't understand why you coming through the back anyway and got a flashlight looking for a welfare check. Why didn't you just come through the front door? But if there's two of y'all, where the other cat at? Anyway. Well, that's going to be the show for today, y'all. I'm going to come back on later again. I got another other part to do. But that's just what it is. You tell me what you think, if there's anything to be thought. All it is just the same old suit, just reheated. And we're trying to deal with it as much as possible. But, it's just the news. It's a different conversation if we talking, though. But, but it is the news. It is what's happening. And there seems to be, again, a pattern here. Is it just coincidence that these things are happening? Or is that just something that is a thread amongst the administrations of these administrations that seem to be like this is the proper protocol, how to deal with them? So, again, I'm your host, Mr. Blow Your Mind. And this has been another Mr. Black Minds News live report. So, let me go ahead and hit that music for me, sir. Because they're freezing us up over here real bad. I better get out before it stops completely. All right, there we go. So, again, I want to thank each and every one of you for your participation, being here, sitting around for the live show. Thank each and every one of you kindly, personally. Those I think that was in the house. I'm getting a little couple shout out for those who was in here. I know I had Furious God was up in here. My brother was good. Mr. Spencer 620 was up in here as well. And anybody else who might have been sneaking up in here. But again, the reason why I got to get off is because they are messing up the internet, making it low output. So then I don't want to go ahead and keep doing that. So I will be back on with another second part to the show after I go ahead and finish it out with this. So again, see one another. Greet your brother. What's good, brother? What's good, sister? You can't do that much. Give at least a universal nod. Right? Understand and know the team that you own. And understand the players and those who are on your team. Some of them players on your team is going to have some allies. You tell them allies, there's a couple questions you better ask them allies. One, if shit and when shit get hot, are you still going to be down in the frying pan with me? Or you going to jump out and let me burn with the rest of my own after you done played and said you was down with us? Two, ask them, which I'm going to do today about John Brown, y'all. I got something for y'all, that John Brown stuff. But anyway, ask them if they ever heard of John Brown. Is John Brown real? Was he a mythological story? Something that white folks just want to tell black people to make them think that white people will go all out to help black people? Or was that real? So, matter of fact, it was so real to the fact that they had to make John Brown like he was crazy. And they was like, you don't hear no, where the movie John Brown at? Oh, they did it with Django. Is that what that was? Oh, okay. Well, anyway, know that we're living at a time at a crossroad where there's some who seek for our demise. So it is incumbent that we as black BADOS, ADOS, we have to seek and maintain mindfulness, vigilance, and cautious, along with high spirit. Get into the next show. I'm your host, Mr. Blows Your Mind. I want to say peace and love to everybody out here who came through. To the next show, y'all. To the next show.
you